Hello. Why is it so weird? It's so weirdly dark in this corner. I don't know why. I'm very bright. This corner's very dark. I don't know why. All my normal lights are on. Anyway, hello. Welcome to day 2 of NaNoWriMo, where we're writing. Got to get our words in. Yesterday, I got all my words in. Felt pretty proud of myself. I'm a little bit over, or technically, I'm a lot over what I'm supposed to be because I came in with like 13,000 words. But as far as how many words I was supposed to write yesterday, I got closer to 2,000. So I'm a little over that goal, but we're going to go ahead and try and get the rest of the words that we need today. I've already written a little bit today, about 350 words going in. So I need like 1,300 words to be at my goal for today. I hope everyone else is having a wonderful Nano. The first like 6 days are always pretty easy for me. It's every day after that. Every other day. The 24 days following the first 6 days of Nano are always the hardest. I have won NaNoWriMo several times, twice in regular Nano, and I think I won April Camp Nano once, but I've participated a lot more times. I do not always complete Nano, which is unfortunate, but I'm working on it. I just have to get my passion and hyper focus concentrated on that. That's why I'm doing these. I'm doing lives. Even if nobody comes to these lives, it is forcing me to sit down and write. That is why we're doing it. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I want to get a lot of writing time up today. So we're starting with 7 minutes. Because this is so weirdly dark, I don't know if it's gonna be difficult for you to see it, but yeah, we're going 7 minutes. I'm gonna mute my screen. You can feel free to turn on whatever music, playlist, backing track you want, and we're gonna write. We're jumping right in, immediate, right into it. 7 minutes. Let's go. All right. Let's see. I'm at 16,000 words, almost 16,100. I I think I was at 15.8. So I got 200, 300 words in that. That seems about right. What I'm currently doing is finishing my chapter 3. So if you don't know how I write, is I write out all the dialogue. So like, some people like picture their scenes, some people it just makes sense to them as they lay it down, some people get glimpses, some people imagine themselves in the story. I don't know. There are lots of ways that people experience their stories before they start writing it down. Me, I am an auditory person. I hear, I get distracted. I hear. A large majority of people hear. But when I write, I hear conversations. So while writing, I will hear those conversations. I'll write out all the dialogue in my scene, and then I go back and add in all the dialogue tags, all the description, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm currently doing. I have all of my dialogue for chapter 3. I have all of my dialogue for chapter 4 written down. And once you have the dialogue down, the other stuff isn't as essential of getting in order. So I'll go until it's like, I don't know, I'm going to jump to this part and I'll finish. So chapter 3 and chapter 4 just have those little chunks that aren't completed. And that's my goal for today, is getting those chunks completed so that chapter 3 and chapter 4 are also finished. I am not a person who thinks you have to write your books in order. I don't think you have to write chapter 1 and then chapter 2 and then chapter 3. But for me, I do, just because I like to hear the development of emotions, Does that make sense? I don't know. I've tried writing completely out of order. I did that one year. I wrote all of my chapters. I wrote my bullet points on cards, and on the back of the cards, I wrote random words down, and I just stuck it to a board, and all you could see were these random words. And then every day I would come in and be like, I think I'm gonna write sofa today. I'm feeling sofa. And then on the back of sofa would be like chapter 18. And that was fine. It was a fine order, but for me, when I reread it, when I went back through to reread it, it was very disjoint. Like, you could tell it was disjointed the way that I wrote it, and the biggest issue for me was the emotional arc was not there. It was not clear. It was not a who. It was very out of sync. So for me, because I'm so focused on the emotional arc, I tend to do it this way. I tend to write, and then I'll do like 2 chapters. And it's like, I can do it in whatever order of these 2 chapters, but before I move on to the next 2 chapters, I have to finish these 2 chapters. And if I get like ideas, I voice record, like, oh, chapter 15, I got the vocal thing, I voice record it. I got a lot of voice recordings in my phone because I've been getting snippets from the next couple books that are in the series. I've got some ideas for other books in the future. I do graphic novels, so I have some of those books that are in there. There's a lot. I also write music, so voice recording is probably my most used app on my phone. Okay. What do we think we should do for the next writing sprint? 15 minutes? 17 minutes? Since no one's here to contradict me, I'm going to make the decisions, and we're going to do 17 minutes. So I will put this guy right here. Hopefully you can still kind of see it, even though it's weirdly dark in that corner. I don't know why. I'm getting new lights soon, so that, soon enough I will be setting up an actual decent spot for streaming. This is just right now what I got going on. And I don't even have a desk. I have 2 dinner trays because I need one to hold my special keyboard that I have to use because my hand's all messed up. And I have one that's holding my laptop and my funky mouse. This is my mouse. And then one stool over here that holds some of my other stuff. And then this back here that's holding. So I got a funky little setup right here. But eventually I will get an actual setup going. So our streams look nice and we don't have the weird shrouded in mystery corner and the lighting's a bit more consistent. We'll figure it out. Okay. Let's 17 minutes on the clock, done. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to try and finish chapter 3 during this sprint. So I'll see you on the other side. Whoops. Okay. I hope your writing went phenomenally. My writing, I did finish chapter 3. I did calculate all the words that I've written today. I still need like 700 more words. So the next sprint, I'm going to work on chapter 4, get that one done. And if I still don't have all of my words for the day, then this evening I'll probably go ahead and start writing the dialogue for chapter 5. Or maybe chapter 6, though I am pretty excited about chapter 5. What kind of books are you guys writing? I'm always curious. My book is a historical romance. However, it's not set in our reality. There's a bit of fiction to it in that these are made-up countries that they are in. So they're not in England or France or Germany or America. It's a ways back, so America would just be starting. But they're not in any of those places. They're fictional places. So there's a bit of fiction to it, but it is historical romance, which is really weird. I don't read a lot of historical romance. I mean, I'm a Jane Austen girly. I enjoyed the one Bridgerton book that I read. I read the 7th one. I read It's in His Kiss. I did not read any of the other ones. Just the 7th one, but I enjoyed it. So I like a bit of historical romance where I have read it, but when I went to start writing this first book, I wasn't originally going to write this book. I had a fantasy book that I was going to write because that's mostly what I at least used to read. I've been a bit broader more recently, but I mostly used to read fantasy, so I was going to write this fantasy book, and I had this whole plan, and then I started writing, and it just wouldn't come, and then one night I got this idea. I was like, I could always write it down, and I wrote for 5 hours probably, planning everything out, making outlines, doing all of this stuff, and ultimately ended up with book 1, and now I am 16,000 words into book 2, and there will be 5 more books after this. It's not like Bridgerton in that they take place at different times, but it is like Bridgerton in that each book is a different person's story. So the arc of the whole series is this one event. So you're seeing this one event through 7, technically 14, but through 7 different couples. There you go. 7 different couples' perspectives. And you don't see the whole event through any one person. So the first book, it covers the first 2 weeks. And then the next book will cover a little bit more time, and then the next book will cover more time, and ultimately, once you read all of the books, you will then experience the whole series. So, since we're talking about it, and it's an NaNoWriMo, and this is about writing sprints, let's just go ahead and do another writing sprint. Should we do 17 minutes again? I feel like that was a good amount of time. What do you think? I feel like it's good. So we're just going to go ahead and do 17 minutes again. Yeah, again, I want to mute. I assume you guys want me to mute so that you don't have to hear me clicky clacking. If you want to hear me clicky clacking on my keyboard, I guess I don't have to mute because I don't turn music on or anything. So I could just leave it on and you could hear the clicky clacks. But for now, I'm going to mute 17 minutes and then we'll finish up the stream for today because I am starting to get hungry, so I need to get some lunch. So 17 minutes on the clock. We go. Let's write, everybody. Stay. I'll see you back in 17 minutes. Okay, that was that sprint. Hello, 1,000 great books. I assume you're still here. I assume you wrote with me. Um, if so, I hope you did, and I hope you just had a great 13 minutes or however long you were able to join in with me. I'm Rocky, in case you don't know. I don't even know if I introduced myself at the beginning of this. Thank you. That is one thing that I had for myself, and this year I was like, you know what? I'm gonna actually complete every day of NaNoWriMo. And so streaming every day, got myself the timer, we're doing this right. How has Nano been for you? I know it's only day 2, but I think for me, the first like 6 days are so exciting. I'm so in it. Then after that, the slog begins. Well, I am working on a new project, but it's a sequel to the book I already have published, and I already did the outline for all of them. So it's kind of new, kind of old. What about you? Are you writing a new novel? Old project, reworking, editing? Are you a rebel? Are you a nano rebel? It's called When Steel Hearts Bend. It's just on Amazon. I self-published because Curb, that's what this is on. This YouTube channel is on Curb. Curb is a self-publishing business. We do all of the like editing, formatting, book covers, that sort of stuff. So I self-published, and then now I am doing this for Nano. What about you? What book are you working on? I'm sure it's much harder to type than it is for me to just talk to you and answer your book or answer your books, answer your questions. I looked down and read the word book and then just spoke it, you know. And also, is this your first Nano? Ooh. What kind of book? What's your genre? What's your preferred writing genre? I myself am a fantasy reader, contemporary fiction reader, and then I wrote a historical romance book. Not usually the path people take, I don't think, but it came out much better than the times that I've attempted to write fantasy books, and I don't know why. That I still have not figured out. And also, if you said you've been working on this book for more than a year, did you work on it for last year's Nano? I don't even remember what I was working on for last year's Nano. That's been a year ago. You might not be able to answer that question either. It's been a while. I think this is like my 8th Nano. That seems crazy. Yes. Same. That's the best part about Nano is that you have thousands of other writers who are also working with you, and there's all these streams or the are you on the NaNoWriMo website? Because they have the forums that you can chat with people. My like location forum is rough for me. They all publish at weird time, like put stuff in there at really weird times. So I always have a hard time chatting within that one. But I do love YouTube streams. For me, it just makes it so much easier to write with other people and have someone going, hey, we're going to write for 6 minutes. And then you write for 6 minutes, and then they're like, hey, we're going to take a break. I always loved that. I don't know if I asked you another question. I I have a very brain, so I'm sorry if this is a lot of just me talking. I've only been streaming. That's the best way to do it. I mean, I'm streaming every day just because I need the push for myself to actually do this. But I'll let you talk or I'll let you type while I then talk. What streams have you seen? Whose streams have you hopped on? This year, I've only There was like a group one. There was a group stream yesterday that I hopped on for a bit. But in previous years, Brooke Passmore, though I don't know that she does YouTube anymore. She used to do streams. Kate Kavanaugh, I don't know if she's doing streams, but she does a lot of videos, and I always like watching her videos. Oh, remembering names is one of my weaknesses. Becca something. Lisa Daly, Corey Davis, nice. I don't remember Corey Davis. I'll have to look at that. But I think I've done a Lisa Daly stream. There's someone named Abby something. She has done streams in the past. If I remembered names, I'd be much more useful, I think, for all of this. How much writing are you? Like, how far in are you? Did you meet your goal yesterday? Are you at your goal today? I met my goal yesterday, got a little past my goal yesterday, but today I still think I have like 300 more words. Probably, something like that. Where am I at? 798. We will just check. That is, I have to do a lot of calculating. That's a good plan. That's a good way to do it. My streams are not at the same time every day. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out what the best time for me to write is. Yesterday, I did an evening stream, and my first sprint was like 7 minutes, I think, and I got 100 words. And then later, I got almost 800 words in a 15-minute stream, which the math there doesn't count. So I don't know. I don't know if random times are going to be better for me, but I will be streaming every day, and you're more than welcome to hop in here if you happen to have the right time when I'm streaming. Yeah, that's great. Especially since you've been working on this book for a year. It's very different doing like your first draft. You just want to get the words down, get something on the page that you can then go back and rework, to I have been cultivating this novel that I want to be so proud of. And so that's definitely not the same. This is my first draft of this book. So right now it's more of I have the ideas, I have the general knowledge, and just want to get it on the page so I can go back and edit. And that's where the actual, I wouldn't say fun, that's where the actual specialty of it lies, hopefully. Hopefully that's where we'll make it good. Did you say what genre your book is? Don't fall. I'm reading through all your comments. For me, I did a coming of age, one of my favorite genres to read. Clearly not one that I write in, but one of my favorite genres to read. So when I first started writing Still Hearts, I was actually trying to write a fantasy story. And I had saved up my money and taken a month, and I traveled across the country and got an Airbnb for a month and was like, I'm just gonna write. I'm just gonna write. And so I got there, started writing, spent 2 days trying to write this story, this fantasy story, and I got maybe 300 words into it. And it was just like, I was stuck. I couldn't do it. And then one night I got this little idea for something else, and I was like, it's not gonna hurt to just put some words on a page. And I wrote for almost 5 hours straight. And after that, I was like, well, I guess I have this other story. And if this one's not happening and this one is, might as well. So I started writing, and within a month, I had the first draft of that one. So then after my first draft, I took about 3 weeks off because I just had a new nephew. I had a brand new nephew. So I came home, spent some time with my nephew, got back to work. And then 3 weeks in, I reread my first draft. I made all my notes on my editing, and because that's how I edit. I read through, I make all my notes, and then I go back in to start actually editing because personally, I feel like you get to the end, you're like, ooh, that's something we need to add way at the beginning. So I go in, I start re-editing. After my first edit, I sent it to someone who is an English teacher, and I sent it to her to be like, hey, would you check over this and give me some notes? And then she did that. She sent me notes back. I did another edit along with my own reread, did another edit of that. And then after that, I sent it to an actual editor and beta readers that I know. And then while they were doing that, I was making my cover because I'm a graphic designer and I do the book covers and the formatting for Curb Entertainment. I am that part of it. And so I did those little parts of it while they were working on that piece of it. They sent that back. I did my final edits, sent it to a proofreader. The proofreader proofread it for me. I made my final little notes, put it all together, and then did my self-publishing, which through KDP is really easy when you have all of those other parts taken care of, or like myself, you know how to do like novel formatting and designing book covers. It would have been much harder if I didn't know editors or beta readers and that kind of stuff, which is kind of why we were like, hey, let's put together Curb Entertainment, Curb Publishing, and have all of these things in one place for people, because that's the hardest part of the stuff. We can write all we want, and the hard part is going, okay, what do I do now? So for me, the hardest part was the actual writing of the book. It was the 3 rounds of editing. I wrote my first draft and then had 3 rounds of editing. Only one with an editor, legit, like a legit editor. But nice. I hope you like it. I am gonna tell you, unfortunately, the first one is gonna be the worst book in the series. And I don't mean, well, I mean, we all get better as we write, but just the story, if you're interested in love stories, I'm not a love story person. So all of these are gonna be love stories, while they're gonna be weird love stories. They're going to be people who aren't good at sharing their emotions, having to figure out how to share their emotions, because that's just more of where I come from. And the first book, the couple in the first book have the best setup for the rest of the story. So the stories are going to get more interesting as they go. That's just kind of how it worked out. And it is unfortunate because most people will read a book and be like, this wasn't good, or this was okay. I don't know that I want to read the next ones. And I gotta now. That's awesome. I also like reading books. That's at some point, if I want to try and put out if Curb has position openings for like beta readers. Right now, I think we have a set group, but there are a lot of people who, like you, are like, I'll read anything if I have time. I would be like, I want to find those people and be like, hey, we'll pay you, just read this book and give us these types of notes, because well, the people that we have are like that. It's like there are so many people out there who just love to read, and I'm like, I want to give them all the books. I want to give every book. So maybe if at some point we have those, I'll have to be like, hey, there's a position, and all you have to do is sometimes read books when you have time. So yeah, I'm actually not doing any more sprints. I do 4. I tend to do an hour long sprint just to get some words in. So I'm sorry you only had time to do 1, but you are welcome in my streams anytime. I will be streaming every single day the month of November, probably including Thanksgiving. My Thanksgivings are never that busy. So do you have any other questions for me right now? Oh, I'm sorry. Do I have any other questions for you? Not right now. I'm just thinking about food. It's almost 12:30 for me. I'm hungry. Nice. I'm gonna get better then at posting when I'm streaming beforehand. Today, I just hopped on and went, "All right, we're gonna stream in 10 minutes." I'll do better. Just for you, just so that you are able to hop on anytime you want to hop on with me. So, 1,000 great books. I will see you hopefully again. I hope you have a wonderful Nano day too, and I hope your book is going excellent. I will see you later.